Hello everyone, my name is Amy Chang and I'm a junior at Clements High School. This year, CS4 has been the best opportunity for me to pursue my personal interests and dive into topics with greater depth. Two major projects in particular I focused on throughout the year have been researching a thermal network model and preparing for the USICO contest. So let's start with the research project. In the first term, I paired my interest in thermodynamics with my passion for programming. I first performed literature studies on energy conservation methods for reducing electricity usage. Growing up in Houston, we have long hot summer days, making us dependent on air conditioning to remain comfortable during the summertime. As many areas across the world have similar conditions with rising global temperatures, the AC uses a relatively large portion of electricity consumption, which then translates into higher expenses for the property owner. Over the years, a large variety of cost reduction methods have been developed to minimize the electricity bill. So in my study, I am theoretically analyzing the effectiveness of 3 different strategies of reducing AC power consumption to determine the advantages of each one. And though I won't go into detail about the thermal aspect of this research, I would like to describe the coding portion of the study, which allowed me to generate models needed. I used MATLAB software, which has functions relatively similar to the Python language, and as my model could be represented with mathematical equations for heat, the solution to the model could be found deterministically through a system of ordinary differential equations which describe the thermal network. Using MATLAB code, I was able to generate graphs such as this one, that ultimately allowed me to draw conclusions for my research. Nearing December, which is the first round of the new season of the USA Computing Olympiad contests, I shifted my focus to studying algorithms and programming techniques to prepare for the contest. Throughout the process, 2 topics that I heavily focused on were dynamic programming and graph algorithms. So let's first take a look at dynamic programming. What is dynamic programming? Well, it's a technique that combines the correctness of complete search and the efficiency of greedy algorithms. And there are 2 main uses for dynamic programming. One is finding an optimal solution, and 2 is counting the number of possible solutions. Shown here is an example of a coding problem that I solved using dynamic programming. It's called sum of squares and the link is given here. I won't go into depth about what the question is asking, but the main focus of doing this problem was to practice using this technique. So now here is a code snippet of my solution that uses this DP algorithm, and it is able to solve the problem. Next, we move on to graph traversal. There are 2 main methods of traversing a graph. One is depth first search or DFS, and 2 is breadth first search or BFS. The main difference between the 2 is that in DFS, we go from the starting node to the furthest node possible from following the edges, while in BFS, we first process the adjacent nodes. My Term 3 video project covers these 2 algorithms in detail. The other graph traversal algorithms include Dijkstra's shortest path algorithm, the minimum spanning tree, which includes Kruskal's and Prim's algorithm, and topological sort, which are all very common techniques used in USICO Gold and Platinum division problems. These 2 projects summarize my work in CS4 independent study this school year. Regarding the thermal project, I've been able to draw significant conclusions and present my findings at a recent conference. And with USICO, I will be attending a summer camp to continue my training. I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to be in such a class, and I plan to continue both projects in the future.